Hey you guys, as promised, I'm back with another update to my faith journey, and I was sitting having a conversation with the Lord, just kind of seeking clarity, his guidance, just his wisdom with regards to the next steps in my journey. And as I was speaking to him, then the Holy Spirit just started to kind of do a number on me, and I began to reflect on some of the conversations that I've had with my loved ones recently. And so within the past few days, I've had to have some tough conversations, but it was important for me to allow my loved ones to express to me or give me their honesty with regards to their thoughts and feelings about me and my faith journey, kind of like how I went about doing things. And I think one of the most challenging parts was because I think that there was a lack of understanding as to, okay, well, why didn't you come to us first? Okay, I'm gonna try to keep it together. I knew that people would probably feel away because it's like, why didn't you, oh, sorry y'all, it's kind of like, why didn't you see fit to come and have a conversation with us first before you just up and left us and went 1,000 miles away from us? And I knew that they would probably feel kind of like maybe it was a selfish move, or it's kind of like, well, dang, you didn't consider us and how that would affect us. And so I had to have that conversation with them to let them know that, like, no, it's not at all personal. And then there were other thoughts and feelings because it's kind of like, well, you didn't sit down and have a conversation with us, but you went on social media and you shared your journey with the world. And I only did that because the Lord put it in my spirit for me to begin to document my journey to inspire other people, because there are other people out there that kind of needed to see my journey. And the one thing I've learned about God is, like, whenever God is doing a thing, he wants to ensure that he gets the glory. So it's definitely not about me. It's all for him to get the glory. And it's also for other people to kind of like learn God in different ways. And so it was challenging. And the reality of it is like, once the Lord began to speak to me and start telling me to do things and giving me instructions, like, for one, because that's new to me, and so I'm already having to set aside my own human logic. So when you are growing spiritually and you're not at a level of maturity spiritual wise to where that this is God, so you're still kind of trying to like figure it out, and there's a lot of questions and things that you don't have the answers to, then for me it was important that I did not open up my ears to the thoughts, the opinions of other people. Because if I did that, if I sat and I contemplated too long, if I sat and I reflected too long about, oh well, like if I called the people that's closest to me and say, well, what do you think? Hold on. All right, sorry guys for the interruption. I got a DoorDash order, but yeah, so it's like, I knew that if I went to my loved ones and say, hey, well, the Lord told me to get in my car and drive to Houston, Texas, but he didn't give me an address. Like, I knew if I went to them and had those conversations with them, then they would probably be like, girl, you crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I did not want to risk consulting with other people and then not be obedient to what I believe that I heard God was telling me to do. And so it was important for me to just stay focused so that I can be obedient. So no, like, I didn't have the capacity. For one, it's a heavy assignment as it is, and I'm already dealing with warfare and just trying to seek clarity around a thing that I'm hearing the Lord is saying to me. And so the last thing I want to do when I'm in that space and trying to consecrate myself and hear from the Lord, I cannot afford to open my ears to distractions. So it's not personal, it's definitely spiritual. So I can't call up my best friend, I can't call up my sister or my loved ones or whatever and be like, hey, what do you think about this? I can't let you tell me what you think about it, because I already know what I'm thinking about it. If they were to come to me and say God told them to do this, I'm thinking of, well, what would you say to them? So I already know how the human mind thinks and operates. And so I'm trying to keep my mind on a spiritual level in the spirit realm. And so I can't, like, and so it's hard, and how do you explain that to people? How do you explain? I can't find the words to really articulate what it is that God is doing in my life. I can't, because it's new to me. And it's a thing that there are no words to really describe it. So it's kind of like, until you're in it and you're experiencing it, like, so I can't expect for other people to understand. So that's why I didn't have those conversations. I just kind of started moving when the Lord started telling me to move. And yeah, it wasn't easy, it wasn't easy. And the thing about it is, I can't sit back and wait on the acceptance or approval of man, of people, because at the end of the day, when it's time for me to go before the Lord, when my days here on this earth are up, and I go before the Lord and he say, well, hey, I told you to do this, why you didn't do it? He don't want to hear that, because your sister or your auntie or your family, your best friend didn't want you to do it, or didn't want me to do it. Like, no, I can't. He's like, I got an answer for that, not you, not them. So like, that's what it was. So another challenge that I had to face was being asked certain questions that I simply didn't have the answers to. So it's kind of like, okay, well, you're going to go out to California. What's your plan? Are you going to get a job? And I'm just kind of like, unfortunately, I don't have the answer to that right now. The Lord has not revealed that to me just yet. And so the one thing I love about God is how he just reassures me that I'm doing the right thing by just standing still and waiting on him and letting him order my steps. So he speaks to me in numbers, as I've already expressed to you guys before. So between yesterday and today, he starts speaking to me through these numbers. And I want to share with you guys what these numbers mean. And I looked them up in Strong's Concordance in the Greek and Hebrew versions. So yesterday, one of the numbers was 338, Yesh, Y-E-S-H, which is used to denote existence or presence. It's often translated as there is or there are. It is a simple yet profound word that affirms the presence or availability of something or someone. In ancient Hebrew culture, the concept of existence was deeply tied to the presence and activity of God. The affirmation of Yesh in the scriptures often underscores the reality of God's provision, presence, and promises. The use of Yesh reflects a worldview that acknowledges the tangible and intangible aspects of life as being under God's sovereign control. Then he gave me another number, which was 419 on yesterday, and it says, let's see, it's a long word, A-N-E-X, and I can share the screenshot, but I can't even pronounce it. But this word is used to describe something that is beyond human understanding or investigation. It conveys the idea of something that cannot be fully comprehended or explored by human means. In the context of the New Testament, it often refers to the divine nature and attributes of God, emphasizing his infinite wisdom and knowledge. In the Greco-Roman world, the pursuit of knowledge and understanding was highly valued, with philosophers seeking to comprehend the mysteries of the universe. However, the use of this word in the New Testament underscores the belief that God's ways and thoughts are far beyond human reasoning and cannot be fully grasped by human intellect. This reflects a common theme in Jewish thought, where the transcendence and mystery of God are acknowledged. So then today, he spoke to me this morning, and one of the numbers was 731. And this is, let's see, what does it say? It's used to describe something that is beyond human ability to articulate or express in words. It conveys the idea of something so profound or sacred that it cannot be adequately communicated through language. In the New Testament, it is used to describe experiences or revelations that are too holy or extraordinary to be spoken. In the Greco-Roman world, language was seen as a powerful tool for communication and expression. However, there were also an understanding that certain experiences, particularly those of a divine or mystical nature, transcended human language. And so it's like, that just kind of speaks to everything that I'm just expressing to you all, that I'm experiencing with my loved ones. And so I can't really describe it, but one thing I know in my heart and in my soul, that this is a God thing. God is ordering my steps. And that's the update that I have for you guys today. I hope and pray that if this video reached your timeline, it reached you in great spirits and in great health. Again, my name is Caressa. I love you guys. I'll be back soon with another update.